What? Yeah.
Wait.
So, I already know. I mean, I already have a good feeling that there's gonna be a Pokemon rep, and then there's those four. That would be cool as the Sony rep, Kingdom Hearts, Resident Evil, and
There's this enemy right here. I'll show you.
whatever else I said. And then since there's 6 slots, and there's still a possibility of third battle pass, because Sakurai said he doesn't know what his plans are, right? Which means that he could do another pack or he won't.
So, Harrison, I hate this thing.
But because he said once he's done with the DLC, he doesn't know what he'll do, you know, because then he'll have a break.
I would want to.
So he'll probably just continue making DLC because it's just like I want to have something to do.
Just continue making DLC. It'd be fun.
Because working on a brand new game would be more work than just making DLC, you know. And they'd have to crunch it out faster, you know, because that's how it is.
Okay, they're not dead. They're not dead. They're not dead.
But people are like, we're never gonna get another Kid Icarus because the Smash DLC because Sakurai's the one who worked on Kid Icarus Uprising for the DS, you know, the 3DS.
Yep.
And so with the Smash DLC,
So Harrison, I forgot to tell you, purple gel.
Medusa turns them into rocks.
Into rocks, yeah. You know why I hate these things? Because they shoot bombs at you. But not just that, they also regenerate health over time.
I think people want Verity, I don't know how to pronounce her name, from Kid Icarus, if we got another Kid Icarus character. She's the lolly-looking girl, if you've ever seen it. Well, you watch some videos where, you've seen the characters from Kid Icarus, I just don't think you remember.
Is there a way to restart this? Hold on.
Because you got Palutena,
I'll be
Pit.
right. I'm going to be right back.
We'll be back with a random cut.
I lost to me, Pikmin. What was going on is these creatures they shoot bombs at you, and when they shoot bombs at you, they make your characters fly. But then again, they also kill them sometimes. Sometimes they can kill them.
Yeah, they want Sceptile.
That's not the one.
I know. That's why I said you're thinking of something else.
It's that one. It's that one right there. It's the lower evolution version of it. Maybe. No, I don't think that's it.
It's not Grobal either. I know what you're talking about. It's neither of them. It's
It's actually a lizard-looking thing.
I know.
I'm trying to. No, that's Sceptile.
See, I want Swampert.
I would like Swampert. I think he's cool.
His final smash would probably be Mega Swampert.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say Mudslide.
Also, I find Blaziken too.
I was gonna say Mudslide because that's why.
So you're probably gonna come back over there, right? You can reset again.
Restart again. I'll be right back.
I'm just. Well, you don't even have to keep this in.
I know.
I'm just talking to you. So we have a first gen Pikachu, and we also have, you know, Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard. Right, so, and then we also got Mewtwo. So we have a lot of first gen in Smash Ultimate. Then I think Kanto has Pichu.
Pichu?
Pichu was second gen because they started bringing out pre-evolutions and evolutions of some of these Pokemon. Like Meryl.
Oh, that little thing, yeah. Okay, let's do it again. Let's hope I can actually do it. Okay. So, I'm going to bring some purples with me. I hate using purples because I don't want them to die, but this is the best way to Come here. Wait, are you still looking for which generations is which? What are you looking at?
I'm just thinking.
Other generations. Oh, he's coming. He's coming. He's walking slowly. He's shooting bombs. Can't bomb hurt him. Blue bomb hurts him. Blue bomb hurt him. Blue bomb hurt him bad. Come on, you stupid thing. Come on, come this way.
Hey, we're back.
Stupid creature. Die.
He didn't lose his main Pikmin this
I
time.
didn't lose it. I only lost one mouse.
Because last time didn't that guy destroy you?
Yeah. Because I didn't expect him to show up. And it's okay if I lose one. I can carry it. If I lost more than one, then I'd be able to lose and because these creatures come back, I need to take them to my ship. Let's take him first because he looks like he's going back first. I just hate these things because they're kind of like the see remember the black things, the ones with the red spots, you know how those things come back in this game. Well, these guys come back too, but these are worse. They're stronger. I'd rather fight 5 of those red things, black and red things, than these things. Because these things are because they hurt your character's pigments so much.
So back to Smash again.
Yeah.
I don't mind having another Pokemon character, just like I don't mind having another Fire Emblem character. They're both. People think that Fire Emblem's not that big of a franchise, but it's large in Japan.
It's a very big franchise.
It's big in Japan, and it's actually a decent size here in America too. They just because most of these people that play Smash Brothers don't play Fire Emblem. They just assume like, oh, it's not even a big franchise. Why is it so overrepresented?
It really.
It's not overrepresented.
It's a very large franchise.
It's a large franchise. That's why it's there. Which. Just because you don't think it is, just because you've never heard of Intel Smash Brothers, doesn't mean that it's not a large franchise.
Do you know why I heard someone say that they didn't like Roy because his game was so bad? The only reason why Roy sucks is because his game.
I mean, that's why people didn't like Corrin, because they didn't like the game.
Did you see what happened there?
No.
He tripped
And got bombed.
Because he got tripped.
I don't understand why people don't like characters just because they don't like a game. Like, you can like the character without liking the game. It's like, oh, this was a good character, but the game sucked.
Yeah, there's a few games you can say that
Instead they go, the game sucked, so the character sucked. Which makes no sense. Or you could like a game and hate the character. Though this character sucked, but the game was great. People are weird. I mean, I can understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, it makes no goddamn sense. Like, if you really think about it, it's just
but the thing is, though, if the game sucks, the character...
Also, people have this mindset of, if you criticize something, then you hate it, and you're not a fan. Which makes no sense at all.
Well,
I mean, I can see why they say that, because they're not really using their head. Because if you like a franchise, you'll praise it, and you'll criticize it. Because... you'll like the thing, you like the franchise, and you like what they do with it, but there'll always be things that, like, they could have did this better, they could have did that better, they could have not done this, they could have done that. Like, nothing's perfect, and if you say something's perfect, then you're ignoring the flaws of the game.
I really did like...
there are always flaws.
I did like, Dragon
Humans
Age.
have flaws, so everything will have flaws.
I definitely love Dragon Age Inquisition. In that one, it was different than the first two, because you actually got to fight like 6 dragons, optional dragons.
And when people try to give games like 10 out of 10 or movies 10 out of 10, though you can already tell that's bullshit, because no game or movie or nothing's a 10 out of 10. Things can be close to a 10 out of 10.
There's
nothing.
flaws,
If you give something a 10 out of 10 and something's better than that 10, what are you gonna do? 11 out of 10?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Nothing's ever a 10, but it can get pretty close to what we consider 10 out of 10. So when you see a game that says 10 out of 10 by, like, anything, it's most likely not true. So you always gotta give those things just some thoughts, like, why is it 10 out of 10? I mean, I can understand 9.8 and all that stuff, but like 10 out of 10. Even though there's things I like a lot, I can never give anything a 10 out of 10.
Well, but the thing is, I
mean, I like it 10 out of 10, but it's not a 10 out of 10 game.
You know, Breath of the Wild got 10.
know?
Breath of the Wild got 10 out of 10, and but what about the next game was just as good? or better than that.
I liked Wind Waker a lot.
Yeah.
Skyward Sword's story was good, but its mechanics were bad, which is why that's not 10 out of 10.
If you gave
Wind Waker was really fun.
if you gave Breath of the Wild 10 out of 10 and Breath of the Wild 2 is better than Breath of the Wild 1,
Then what is Breath of the Wild 2, 11 out of 10? That's what I'm saying. Nothing's a 10 out of 10.
But
If anything, it was probably like a 9.4
hold on a second.
for most people.
I thought Breath of the Wild was one of the best one of the series. You know? Just because it added everything together, everything got wrapped up the way everyone thought it was going to.
Honestly, I'd probably give Resident Evil 6 like a 7.5 or an 8. Because it's fun with 2 people,
But if you're not playing with 2 people, then
there's just and then there's a lot of like buggy spots and annoying things and too many mechanics they try to shove in the game, or that's why it's like, even though the game was fun to play with other people, like after when you play it, it's so hard to go back to the game.
I give it a 7 out of 10 because.
So I'd probably give it like a 7.5.
I give it a 7 out of 10 because you get to see Chris Redfield slide down a what do you call that thing? A slide.
Oh yeah. Whee!
You can see.
No, I'd probably give 6 a 7, and then 5. 5 was actually a really good co-op game.
So
If you play it by yourself, it's not as fun.
So Harrison, you haven't
7.5, and I think 4 I'd do like 8.5 out of 10. Because even though 4 is really good and it aged well, like Resident Evil 4 is one of those games that, because you know some games don't age well. Like it was fun back then, you try to play it now, it's like I can't.
So Harrison, you've never seen this guy before, okay? This guy, he's not very fun. I'll show you why. Okay, you first you gotta wake him up.
Smash Ultimate I'll probably give 9 out of 10. Because even if I like it a lot, there's still things which would make it better.
You gotta
like
wake him up, and then you run. Come here, Pikmin, come here.
You know what I mean? Like if Smash Ultimate had this and that, like if they had all
Harrison,
they had the game.
He's got a gun. He's got a gun.
It would make it a lot better of a game.
Harrison, he has a gun.
Yeah. And it looks like mold on the side of it as well.
It's a lava. But it's a spider with a gun. It's a spider with a gun. I would have never thought there'd be a spider with a gun.
I'd probably give Sunshine a 9 out of 10 as well. Because it was hard, it was fun, and it still plays well. There's just some clunky controls and bugs, of course, because it's an old game. But I'd still give it a pretty good score.
You know what's weird? Knowing that Japan gave Breath of the Wild and Skyrim a 10 out of 10. That surprised me. When I saw Skyrim get a 10 out of 10.
Honestly, look, I might put Resident Evil 3 might be close to the score I'd probably give to Resident Evil 7.
Really? I thought Resident Evil 7 was closer to Resident Evil last one.
No, because they're both too short.
But
whatnot.
I
know. I'm just not. That's not the only reason. I got many other reasons. I'm just saying that like
the shortness doesn't matter because
I know. Like I said, I have a bunch of other reasons and whatnot. And everybody has their own opinion. I'm just saying my score for the games would probably be a little bit lower for those two. I mean, three was good, but it was too short and it just lacked too much content. Like it took away too much content. Where they tried to focus on the online multiplayer, which most people don't care about because they wanted Resident Evil 3 remake, and then they just cut content of that to focus on the online, which is like, okay, we don't care.
They did cut to the online. I saw.
I'm pretty sure they even had an update or two. Like I think I've been doing updates for the online too, like adding stuff. Like I think they said now you can play as blah blah blah. I'm like,
I saw this thing. Where
so you're doing updates for the online, but you're saying you're not gonna have any more content for Resident Evil 3,
I saw this thing where they were asking
because you know with Resident Evil 2 they added those extra weapons, they added the item unlock, they added those other skins,
so,
like you know like the I never know what to call them, you know, of the suits and the hat.
So Harrison, because I defeated that boss, I got a light bulb. And
another light bulb.
Now everything's bright. It's a brighter level. It's called Solar System.
So then you don't have to look at the dark.
Yes. What I saw this guy do a chart. He did a chart. He asked a bunch of Resident Evil people who play Resident Evil, fans of it, what their favorite Resident Evil was from best to worst.
Honestly, the original 3 were like in Code Veronica were fine, but like how games age, playing them nowadays are like not as good because the tank controls, the overhead, and the way everything is, like they're not as good as they were back then. Like nowadays, it would probably be a lower score.
This guy was asking them what their favorite Resident Evil was, and he did a list. And
apparently, Resident Evil 0 like didn't sell as much as like some of the other games.
And they did like a chart, the chart list to show what people said, and apparently the list was like 2, 4,
and I think 1 is
6, 1, 7. 7 was like right next to 6, and
because I remember I looked at a list too. It was like something like that.
6 and 7 were like really close together, and then 5 was lower, and then for some reason 3 was like at the very bottom.
I think when I seen it, I think 6 was above 7. Like really? No, even like of all the shit that people talk about, 6 it did better than 7.
It's because of how much
because
it was.
Like it sold a bunch and then people didn't like it, and then when it dropped to $20, just
people
like the other games, people keep buying it. And then when 7 dropped to $20, people started buying it.
We must
like
look
more.
At we must
So
look at the same list.
So when Resident Evil 3 drops down, more people because a lot of people said, I'm not buying this game. I'm not buying a $30 game for $60 because you have $30 of content in there.
We must have looked at the same list because the list was also said that 6 was better than 7, but then they put 3 at like bottom tier.
Yeah, 3's lower because a lot of people aren't buying it because it's like I was saying, they're not buying a $30 game for $60. So everybody's like, most people are like, I'm getting the game when it drops price.
I didn't see Code Veronica. Almost like Code Veronica. Almost like not a lot of people play Code Veronica.
Yeah, because it wasn't a number game, and because whatever. But a lot of people that played it said that they liked it better than 3 and whatnot. But that's how those, just like Revelations 2.
It's surprising.
Just because they didn't have a number in it, they didn't sell as well.
I think I saw 0.
You know. Which, because they're doing the same thing with Resident Evil Village, Resident Evil 8, they're trying not to have the number in there. They're trying to drop the number and calling it Village.
Olimar, you working so hard?
Olimar, you worked so hard. Your special bonus arrived today. This is first, right? I brought the kids a few things they've been wanting. They were so happy, and so was I.
Louis.
Louis, we suddenly stopped hearing from you. Everything okay? If things get tough, you can always come home. I'll stock up on those pick carrots you love.
Okay.
No wonder he hates them.
Yeah.
Do you like the 2 voices I have for them?
I think they're awesome.
Mike Wazowski.
But I don't think you asked.
No, but
about
yeah.
0.
So like, I think the way they're doing that might actually kind of hurt the sales a little bit of 8 because.
Oh, 8.
Because you know, the way Code Veronica, Revelations 2, like how they sold less than the number titles just because they weren't number titles. And like, I think the same thing happened to Kingdom Hearts as well. Cause,
yeah,
like, when they weren't number titles,
they weren't damn
people don't buy them as much because like, oh, I don't need to buy that one then.
But you need to buy every Kingdom Hearts thing to actually.
And with Resident Evil 2, it kind of helps with the story as well to understand things. So it's just like, when you don't have them titled by number like that, then people go, okay, I don't need it, and then they sell less. So what they're doing with 8, it might end up causing it to sell less because of that.
Oh, if they call it Village instead of.
Well, because they might, because you know how they did the same thing with Resident Evil 7 was called Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.